AASSII, which is the Association of IIT BHU alumni here, Mr. Nitin Malhotra. So I would like to warmly welcome Mr. Nitin Malhotra here and ask him to share a few words with us about the IIT BHU Alumni Association. By the way, this association, in case you don't have an idea of the scale, it has more than 16,000 members, okay, and substantial activities are going on. So a big round of applause for Mr. Nitin Malhotra, please.
Thank you, Ebo. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you. Electric vehicles is a very important subject these days. I'll try to simplify what Mr. Munjal and Shomik said. India needs a lot of catching up to do. We are, I think, 10 to 15 years behind. But before I start that, let me thank the wonderful work done by the organizers from IIT BHU and Pan IIT alumni. So let me first thank Sanjeev Nikor, who's done a lot of hard work. Devashish Bhattacharya, our man of all seasons, now chairman Pan IIT. These are all my batchmates from IIT BHU and maybe a little senior or junior. And of course, Vaibhav. Where's Vaibhav? So he's done a lot of good work. And Sudhanshu Mittal, Arun Anant, Sunil Khanna. But most of all, 60 of our young students have come from IIT BHU. And they look very sharp to me compared to what we looked in their age. We had two different colored chappals, one blue and one Hawaii chappal in some pink color or something. So these people look very sharp. Thank you so much for calling me, and it's a rare honor. We have a lot of speakers from IIT BHU today, but there is also a long list of alumni who really made a mark in their lives all over the world from IIT BHU. Just a quick recap, because some of you are not from IIT BHU. In the early 1900s, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji, who was our legendary founder, was a very worried man. He was very worried because he thought that eventually Britishers will leave India, and what happens to India after that? Who is going to run the country after that? So he wanted that we produce good engineers, doctors, educationists, scientists, and that was the genesis of BHU. IIT BHU today is a 103-year-old institution, and we are eternally grateful to our legendary founder, Bharat Ratna Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji, and we always start thanking him. We always start with thanking him for everything. The speakers today are all from BHU, or most of them. So we have Sanjay Bahel, CEO of Greaves Motors. You've just heard Shomik, who is from IIT BHU, and then we have Professor Akshay Kumar Rathore, Narsimhan Ishwar. So the ever-present Dr. Pramod Joshi. Vani Dantam, I'm told that he's going to be here at some point in time. Vani Dantam was my junior, and I would see that he was doing his PhD in Cornell and now heads a big lithium-ion battery plant in US. KVS Manian from Kotak Bank, Deepak Pava, Dr. Sujit Kumar. Sujit Kumar is another IIT BHU graduate who runs a fantastic lab for lithium-ion batteries in Santa Clara. I've seen his lab, and it's very impressive. He's got funding from Volkswagen and General Motors to create batteries that can be charged in 15 minutes. So it's very impressive. I think he's going to be talking to you. Shailesh Chandra, who's the CEO of Tata Motors, Vinny Mehta, and of course, people like that. I've had the privilege of seeing the Tesla factory in Fremont. So it was beyond impressive. There is a 46-week waiting list to see this factory. But then we had another IIT BHU alumni who was the CFO of Tesla at that point in time, Deepak Ahuja. He showed me the plant, and all the 60 young students from IIT BHU would tell you कि यार हमें waiting list apply नहीं करती, so I got to see the plant immediately. I've been also going to China from 2000 onwards, and I've seen the mercurial rise of this country. Around 2003, you would have very small three-wheelers where barely two people could sit. They would transport you from the metro station to your hotel. Those were really dangerous vehicles. When I look at our Toto, I think Toto is also very unsafe, very unstable, and very poorly designed. But I tell you that Toto has served a huge purpose in the urban landscape of India. Varanasi gets 30 to 40 lakh tourists per month, 40 lakh tourists per month. After Modi ji became the member of parliament from Varanasi, the city was transformed. We get 70,000 pilgrims visiting the magnificent Kashi Vishwanath Mandir corridor for darshan. So 70,000 people go there every day. And without this humble Toto, Banaras would have been a complete disaster. So they take you from point A to B for a mere 100 rupees. So it is much faster than a pedal rickshaw and much cheaper. But also remember that they still don't run on lithium-ion batteries. They run on lead-acid batteries. Till 5 years back, the Chinese small companies had godowns scattered all over Delhi. And they were supplying everything from wire harness to electric motors to the frames to tires. And small-time mechanics would go there, buy these things, and assemble them in their workshops, make 1 to 5, 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 Totos every day. But I tell you that Totos have come to rescue our urban transportation. And this is a time when our students or BTech or MTech students can really work on this and improve upon this. I've also seen a lot of medium-sized lithium-ion battery plants in China, and I would often wonder why India doesn't have its own battery manufacturing capacities. One reason, of course, was that China was very smart. They cornered all the lithium mines all around the world. And in lithium-ion battery manufacturing, 70% of the cost comes from the raw materials. So that was one disadvantage India has faced. And while the battery chemistries are well understood all over the world by labs, by engineering schools, the lithium iron phosphate or lithium NMC, nickel manganese cobalt, and now the current lithium sulfur batteries. But taking them from the lab to production is one hell of a challenge which no Indian industry has been able to do anything. So as you know that even in small panel manufacturing, solar panel manufacturing, all the production lines come from China. The same story is here. If you need a production line, you have to go to these countries. India has been very poor in taking the lithium-ion battery from lab to production line. So this is one of our big weaknesses. Also, the next set of batteries are going to be away from lithium-ion batteries. They're probably going to be sodium-ion batteries, and I hope India will not miss the bus there. It is very important that we catch up on this. The bigger batteries, as Shomit and Mr. Munjal were saying, for energy storage are going to be probably zinc airflow batteries. So India really needs to do a lot of thinking in this line, and I hope that this EV conference will give some kind of an impetus to our policymakers, to our entrepreneurs, to everybody. As Mr. Munjal was saying about the hydrogen economy, um, it is probably that in the next 5 years you will see that most of our solar plants, and we are going to have about 500 gigawatts of solar plants, they will stop selling power to the discoms because they lose money. They'll probably start generating hydrogen. And as the electrolyzer technologies become better, this is one aspect that you'll see happening very quickly. Just yesterday, one of the IIT BHU students, Kartikeya Sharma, he was given $300 million from Partners Fund in Zurich, and that was a very proud moment for all of us. So I had to tell that group कि भैया अगर धंधा पक्का करना और पैसा लेना है तो अपने ग्रुप में एक IIT BHU का लड़का जरूर रखो. That's how you make money. So these people have been given a mandate to create, to develop more solar farms. So it's a very young company, and I'm very proud of the work that they have done. So once we get hydrogen, then you know that's a different ball game. So all of us are aiming towards reducing carbon emissions. India imports $200 billion worth of oil. That makes our economy vulnerable. That makes our diplomacy vulnerable. Just imagine if you could half cut our imports by half, and our carbon emissions would be down. The dollar exchange, the dollar rupee parity would be much better. Some studies say that if we are able to cut down our oil imports by 50%, the dollar could be probably at 60 rupees rather than 82 rupees. And those who have been spending a lot of time, in our time it was 7 rupees to a dollar when we started, now it's 82 rupees. It's pretty shameful, I think. I think this is the time when all IITs and engineering schools should get connected with industry on a day-to-day basis. What is most important is that industries come to our labs in IITs and say that ye hamara problem hai, try and solve it and we'll give you money for it. It needs a day-to-day interconnection with industry. This is what I see in China, and this is really lacking in India, and I hope we'll do something about this. In the end, I would like to thank all the organizers. I'd like to thank all the media people. I hope the media people will be able to harp every day on and on about how we need to get the electric vehicles going and what it's doing to our, the present IC engine is doing to our atmospheric emissions, and create awareness on this. My extreme thanks to the organizers, especially to the sponsors without whom we cannot do anything. So thank you very much. And AASSII and AIBA have done a good job, and AASSII, as Vishambar said, we have 16,000 members all over the world. We are trying to increase this membership, and we request all of you here from IIT BHU to register as quickly as possible. The next year plan is to have a startup conference in Bangalore from Alumni Association of IIT BHU, and one conference on artificial intelligence also. So I look forward to meeting all of you there. Thank you very much again. Thank you.